One may imagine that a man can create a man, with someone given characteristics not only theoretically, but also practically. He can be a genius mathematician, a brilliant musician, or a soldier. A man who can fight without fear, compassion, regret, or pain.
Без чувства сострадания, сожаления и без боли.
We already have that. As you understand, humanity can enter, and almost likely it will be in the near future, a very difficult and extremely responsible period of existence. And what I have just described might be worse than a nuclear bomb. Sure, that's 100-year-old technology plus. So what's really going on is a war between people that are aware of what's going on and decide to use their understanding of human systems to suppress the rest of the population. There's a war between those people and the people that are awake and understand how humanity operates, but want to use that information to empower people and to show others how the system actually works, because historically and statistically, that is the most empowering, surest way for our species to flourish and not destroy ourselves. You've got the awake people that are evil, and you've got the awake people that are good, and in between you've got 70, 80% of the population that has no idea what planet they're on. And the globalists would say, just join us and help us get rid of them, and then we can all live together in peace. But the globalists attack each other as well and everybody else. They want generally to tear things down because it lets them manage things better. It's hard to manage empowered, free peoples. And the globalists are OCD. They're control freaks. That's one of their main traits that goes with criminality, is that they're very, very rote. They're very, very systematic. They're very, very constrained. They're very, very robotic. And those of us that are into liberty are not, because we're not robots. We're more human than human, because there are humans and then there are humans. There are people that are conscious and those that are not. There are those that are somewhat conscious but choose the dark side. Now, Vladimir Putin has come out in a very powerful speech that he gave yesterday, warning to the world. And the full speech is linked up on Infowars.com in an article that we've written boiling all this down. It's also on Newswars.com. Vladimir Putin warns of future sci-fi superhuman soldiers more destructive than nuclear bombs who feel no fear or pain. Now, before I play this clip and read the closed captioning for radio listeners, before I translate it, it's important to note that he talks about super soldiers last and points out that they don't have any feelings. And he means feelings morally, because they're going to engineer out in that aspect someone that has morals. So you basically have a sociopath or a directable psychopath who then won't have any rights. Because if you add the genetics of animals or plants 1% or less, then you have a chimera that is in a no man's land, figuratively, and the pun also fits, because they're not animal and they're not human. They are a chimera. From mythical Greek mind to reality. And this has been going on for 30 years, chimeras, at the embryonic level and now implanted in bovine and grown up to humanoid size, reportedly for organ harvesting, but they've kept them alive. And the media always makes a big joke about this because they don't want to debate about it. But after decades of pushing, now it's finally in mainstream news. If you're a radio listener, I'm putting MIT Review, Associated Press, you name it, on screen. That's why when they attack me on CNN or Fox News, they always take audio of the show and don't show what I'm showing. Because if they show me saying it with MIT and Associated Press and Bloomberg, then it's very credible, you see. But they don't want a big debate about it. They want it now a little bit in publications, but not out there. But the real issue is the super soldier issue is a side area. It is the brainiac. It is people having genetics for high IQs, tripled, quadrupled. There's major associations with that in mental illness. And they may be able genetically to put other buffers in to be able to control it somehow. But the reason we don't walk till we're a year old is because our head has to grow outside the womb. It's already so big. It's like French bulldogs. It's like the Mars attack analogy that the Martians, hypothetically, have these heads 4 times the size of ours. Well, how are you going to walk around with a thing like that? There's some major issues here, obviously. But the point is, they were putting brain chips in soldiers 20 years ago. I knew about it from soldiers that it happened to. Now it's mainstream news. And I'm putting that on screen. Military's building brain chips to treat PTSD. I told you that 15 years ago. They have viruses they inject you with that also eat parts of the brain so that you, quote, never get upset again because those receptors are gone. But those receptors are associated with spiritual experiences as well. Yes, they're associated with rage, euphoria, and with opiates that mimic what's naturally there as endorphins. So much of this is being used to dehumanize us, and all the technologies they've deployed against us so far have been about ravaging the mind and suppressing us, not empowering us. And that's the great lie of the transhumanists who are really eugenicists. You may have some transhumanists that mean well and are only porch transhumanist, but transhumanism was the creation of Julian Huxley, the head of the UN program, to basically camouflage the true technocratic genetic engineering operation being launched through the eugenics boards. So the Eugenics Society became the transhumanist movement in 1947 after the embarrassment of their their test model, Adolf Hitler and the Third Reich. So we have DARPA out today saying we can mind control you with waves, through waves that are put out through your cell phones. They told you that 2 years ago in the Kingsman. Yes, they can activate those, and it makes people agitated and violent. Can it make you act like in the movie and uncontrollably kill people? It's been declassified for decades, folks. They've got this. It took them to the cell towers, you name it. And that was in the Baltimore Sun almost 20 years ago. I read it in the Baltimore Sun that, oh, the CIA's testing, calming the public through cell towers. It's in the news today. Scientists can now control how you think. Boy, are we reaching our Atlantean moment where we may destroy ourselves? And Putin is talking about having that discussion. Here is excerpts of what President Putin talked about. This means that a man has the opportunity to get into the genetic code created by either nature or, as religious people would say, by God. What kind of practical consequences may entail? This means that one can already imagine it. One may imagine that a man can create a man. With someone given characteristics not only theoretically, but also practically. He can be a genius mathematician, a brilliant musician, or a soldier. A man who can fight without fear, compassion, regret, or pain. And we already have that. As you understand, humanity can enter, and almost likely it will be in the near future, a very difficult and extremely responsible period of existence. And what I have just described might be worse than a nuclear bomb. Sure, that's 100-year-old technology plus. When we do something, whatever we do, I want to reiterate again, we must never forget about the ethical foundations of our work. There's not any discussions about ethics here, baby. They're going to release GMO bugs everywhere that bite you and give you vaccines forcibly, and it's not even a vaccine, it's nanotech. It's all here. Now, before I end this hour, ladies and gentlemen, we are extending only 2 more days, and then it's gone. We've never done it before. Brain Force Plus, our amazing nootropic, naturally boosting your brain in a healthy way. It's amazing. Read the reviews. That's got to end the next 2 days. Anthroplex is a super stamina, libido, and energy booster for myself. It's amazing. Experience it for yourself. That's 50% off. We now have colloidal silver 50% off, our super high quality silver bullet made by the top producer in the country. They supply Whole Foods. And when we sell it for $19, it's $5 cheaper than Whole Foods at $9.95 or 50% off. It is an incredible deal. Winter Sun, high-quality organic vitamin D3 to be taken under the tongue. So important you're not getting sun during the winter. That's why you tend to get sick. The research shows for yourself, your children especially. Winter Sun now available, and it's discounted massively as well. 50% off. We've never done that. InfoWarsLife.com. or 888-253-3139. And we can answer all your questions when you call. There's Winter Sun, 637 reviews, 4.9 on Power Reviews, third-party site. That is the top vitamin D3 in the country, labeled by us and discounted. 50% off, InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139. InfoWarsStore.com has all the T-shirts, the books, the films, and a subsection is InfoWarsLife.com. But whatever you do, take advantage of the auto ship on things you need to reorder. That way you can support the broadcast and not forget, and get big discounts and get products that make your life better. So sign up for auto ship at InfoWarsLife.com. And there's free shipping. Free shipping at InfoWarsStore.com. Almost forgot to tell you.
Survival Shield X2 Nascent Iodine. If you're interested in healthy thyroid, if you're interested in well-being, if you're interested in having a higher IQ, which this has been linked to, get your powerful Survival Shield X2 at InfoWarsStore.com.